Hi there, welcome back to Herding Cats. Today I want to talk a little bit about tornadoes. Not the destructive force that is part of our life here in the Midwest, but rather a kind of ingenious little science experiment. It's a little tube that you can attach two 2-liter bottles to, one on either side, and you can put inside the 2-liter bottle some water, and then you can show students how a tornado is formed. You can talk about the science and everything, but in my previous life as an English teacher, I actually used it as a comparison to writing, and it was very effective. It was a hands-on activity that I did with all grade levels in high school, and I wouldn't explain to the students what I was doing. Instead, I would come prepared, and inside my bottles would not just be water, but I would put little objects inside. Sometimes I'd get, funny, and I'd put maybe a little tiny toy soldier or a little ninja. I'd put some fancy glitter, the big shards of glitter. I would put, just kind of all different kinds of things. And sometimes the bigger, the better. So if it fit into the 2-liter bottle, I would put it in. Now, you can imagine where this is going. I would set it on a desk, and of course, teenagers being who they are, they would immediately flock to it, and they would all want to try. So we would pass it around the classroom, and I would just let them all try their thing. And I'd encourage them to pass it along, and after a few minutes, I would talk about writing. So I use it as a comparison to talk about the writing process and talk about how every person who writes is different, and how sometimes that process is smooth and beautiful, and the effect is very powerful, and sometimes it's much more chaotic because all those big chunks and objects would get clogged up and things weren't necessarily smooth, especially if somebody had never done the motion before, had never swirled that tornado. I want you to concentrate on that image today, that swirling yet controlled tornado. Yes, it's sparkly, the objects are stuck, there's force and there's power, and yet it's contained within just that 2-liter bottle. It's not destructive. That has been my life in the last 12 days. Pep assembly, set up for a corn booth at a local festival, wreath fundraiser preparation and presentations, planned and unplanned visits from Queen Bee, window painting, corn roast booth, multiple shifts on the corn roast booth, the parade, a death of a family pet funeral, purchasing of a new replacement pet, and of course cleaning all the pet's equipment, takedown for the booth, more wreath presentations, den meetings, Queen Bee's 21st birthday, gotta celebrate that, a flooded basement, a sump pump repair at 9 o'clock at night, movie night, lip sync battle, another parade, court at a homecoming football game, planning and prepping of a scrapbook class, multiple nighttime interruptions. Unfortunately, Bubba, when chaos happens, Bubba sometimes has an accident in the middle of the night, doctor's appointments, issues with college financial aid, more den meetings, more wreath presentations, countless lists, subbing jobs, planned and unplanned, lots of errands. Lots of false starts, lots of need to find the rhythm, lots of trying to figure out the right path, the right technique. What will make this work for us? How can we get all of this to follow a path, to get it swirling and going in the right direction, to not have as many This tornado is contained. It is manageable. And at times it's beautiful. I only got 45 minutes with Queen Bee on her 21st birthday, but they were a good 45 minutes with some boozy milkshakes and some balloons and some celebration. There are moments of shimmer. There's a moment of shining bright spots. The key when you are stuck in the midst of the tornado is to find the rhythm. It's to appreciate the effect of the tornado itself. It's to stand back sometimes and say, this is busy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of problems, but I can handle it. It's still contained, and that's the lesson. Don't be consumed by the problematic moments. They are contained. They are small in a great big universe, and they do create a beautiful journey, a beautiful path. Sometimes it's a changing direction. The last 12 days certainly didn't go as I foresaw them going, but they went. And there were some great moments and some things that we will never forget, some great memories. So, corn, Queen Bee, court, we survived it, and we are better for it. Have a great day.